A high school volleyball coach is out on bail after being charged with rape. You're watching NewsdayTV. Thanks for joining us. I'm Ken Buffa. We'll have more on that story in a moment, but first, the National Weather Service is calling for excessive rainfall this weekend. We can expect 2 to 3 inches of heavy rains in Nassau and Suffolk counties with possible flooding. The worst of it is set to fall Saturday afternoon into the evening, and we'll have a closer look at your weekend weather later on in the show. Back to that coach accused of rape who has ties to 2 high schools and a private sports club here on Long Island. Shay Einhorn reports.
22-year-old Jason Mazer, who was a high school volleyball coach and a club volleyball coach, is now facing felony rape charges, accused of having sexual intercourse and oral sex with a 15-year-old player. According to court documents, the alleged incidents took place in Mazer's 2014 Jeep Cherokee in Albertson on February 7th and March 7th, while Mazer was working as a part-time coach at Sacred Heart Academy, an all-girls Catholic high school in Hempstead. Now, the school did issue a statement to the community today saying that Mazer is no longer employed here and that the school took immediate steps to ensure he had no access to school property or school activities. Quote, "When Sacred Heart learned of the situation involving Jason Mazer, Sacred Heart Academy notified the appropriate authorities and offered all available resources to the family." Mazer also coached for B&B Volleyball based in Albertson. According to a statement from the club's director, Mazer was immediately terminated and the incident was reported to the club's overseeing agencies as required. Quote, "Recently, a report was received of an inappropriate sexual relationship between an adult who coached for B&B Volleyball and one of our players. This report was the first notice B&B Volleyball received about the relationship, and of course, we were concerned for the well-being of our player and her family first and foremost." Prosecutors said in court that Mazer is facing up to 4 years behind bars if he's convicted of the top charge. He is now out on bail. A judge did issue a stay-away order.
We're not in a position to make a comment today. Obviously, the bail set was very high. We're going to get Jason out, and we'll deal with the case going forward.
The Manhasset school superintendent confirmed that Mazer also coached boys varsity volleyball there for 1 season in 2022, but that there were no complaints against him during that time. Mrs. Mazer, do you want to say anything? Mazer lives in Syosset with his parents, who were in court today but didn't answer questions. He's due back in court next month. In Hempstead, I'm Sherry Einhorn for NewsdayTV.
We now know the identity of the second victim in the Babylon body parts case. Police say the body parts found in the park and woods belonged to Malcolm Craig Brown. Now, Brown's last known address was in Yonkers. His family recently said his cousin Stephen Brown is one of the 4 people charged in connection with the crime. Donna R. Coneely was already identified as the other victim in the case. Now, all 4 defendants face concealment of a human corpse and tampering with evidence charges and were ordered to wear a monitoring device while being banned from leaving Suffolk County. And a couple has been found guilty in the death of a 5-year-old. A jury found Valerie Owusu, the boy's mother, and Emmanuel Ade, her boyfriend, guilty of depraved indifference murder. Prosecutors say the boy was severely beaten and the couple made no effort to help him. The defense attorney says they believe the jury was swayed by emotion.
I mean, emotion was just something you could not ignore in this case. The death of a 5-year-old kid is highly emotional. It's not like it's the elephant in the room.
The boy died while staying with his grandmother in Brentwood back in 2021. And 2 men have been sentenced to 40 years to life in prison for a road rage killing. The Nassau DA says Douglas Caudry and Kenneth Reagan shot and killed a 27-year-old man outside of his parents' home in Plainview. This was after an altercation when the men were driving. Now, 4 days later, the pair allegedly shot and killed another motorist in New Jersey. And Kate Middleton has announced she was diagnosed with cancer and is undergoing treatment.
It has been an incredibly tough couple of months for our entire family, but I've had a fantastic medical team who have taken great care of me, for which I'm so grateful. We hope that you'll understand that as a family, we now need some time, space, and privacy while I complete my treatment.
Princess of Wales made her announcement on social media after weeks of speculation on where she was. Middleton was hospitalized in January for abdominal surgery. This was the first time the 42-year-old has been seen publicly since Christmas. A nonprofit that helps victims and survivors of domestic abuse is celebrating a milestone. Virginia Huey has more on the Safe Center.
He didn't want me to leave, of course, and he tried to kill me.
10 years ago, Alicia Santandrew says she fled from an abusive relationship with her longtime boyfriend. She found a safe haven at the Safe Center in Bethpage.
And as soon as I walked into the doors, I was greeted at the front by a very warm woman. And instantly I just kind of felt like I just kind of melted. And for the first time, I started to feel peaceful again.
Santandrew is just one of tens of thousands of abuse victims who found help and hope at the Safe Center. This year, the nonprofit marks its 10th anniversary. It was created in 2014 when co-founders Cynthia Scott and Sandy Oliva merged their respective child abuse and domestic violence agencies. Scott, who retired in 2022, says the goal was to provide a fast, easy path to services.
We felt very strongly that we needed to create a location where all of the services were under one roof so that we were going to be better able to serve the family.
The Safe Center's 24/7 hotline receives about 6,000 calls a year. The agency offers counseling, advocacy, and housing services, as well as assisting with referrals. Over the past 10 years, the Safe Center has expanded its services to meet the growing needs of its clients.
So that's including now services for those who have experienced rape and sexual assault and human trafficking. We have grown our prevention arm of the agency.
Santandrew credits the Safe Center with helping her move from being a victim to become a survivor.
I really do feel like this place made me feel the empowerment that I needed to get out.
For Newsday TV, I'm Virginia Huey.
We're hearing new complaints from fans trying to enjoy an Islanders game at UBS Arena. Krista Kelman has a story you'll see only in Newsday.
As Newsday has reported, some Islanders fans are expressing difficulty getting to UBS Arena. And if they choose to park, then their trek likely starts here in the Emerald Lot, about a half a mile away from the arena.
So this is my third year as a season ticket holder. And when I first got here and used the Emerald Lot, I just couldn't believe what I was seeing.
There's nothing that entices me to want to drive here. And it's $38 to park here for what? So I could walk a mile? Like, when I signed up for my season ticket, it didn't include cardio.
And it took us 15 minutes to walk from the parking lot to the stadium. It should be a little more convenient, I mean, especially season tickets are so expensive,
While shuttles are provided from the lot to the arena, there can be delays.
If it's a weekend game, you're waiting at least 30 minutes to get on a bus to get to the arena, and at that point, puck drops. And then why did I even come?
How this has affected the way these fans see their future here at UBS with the Isles?
I have attended less games. I give away more tickets.
I have to figure out if it's worth even having the season ticket.
I'm not a season ticket holder for next year mostly because of this hassle. It's like the most atrocious part of this entire place is that Emerald Lot.
And there are other fans that don't mind the walk.
We're in and out super quick. I know a lot of people do complain, but for us, it's no issue.
I mean, walking across the Coliseum parking lot was pretty much the same difference. And it's 10 minutes, it's not really a big deal at all.
The Islanders did not respond to multiple requests for a comment on this story. In Elmont, Carissa Kelman, Newsday TV.
And to read more about UBS Arena, go to Newsday.com, click Get More, below the Newsday TV video box. With rain on the way, it might be a good weekend to see a movie. Rafer Guzman has the preview of the new Ghostbusters flick.
You love Ghostbusters, I love Ghostbusters, but the sequels, not so much. That is, until now.
Is something trying to get out?
Many things.
Ghostbusters Frozen Empire is the surprisingly charming second entry in the Next Generation series. Yes, the original crew is here: Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd, Ernie Hudson, and even Annie Potts. And yes, there's another ancient evil force. This one is an ice demon called Garaka. But once again, the star of the show is McKenna Grace as Phoebe, a brainy young buster. And here's where Frozen Empire shines, by playing up the theme of family. Paul Rudd is Gary Gruberson, who's trying to be a good stepdad, and Aykroyd settles nicely into a grandfatherly role. These scenes keep Frozen Empire from becoming just another hollow CGI spectacle, though you'll see plenty of that too. Kumail Nanjiani and Patton Oswalt are also nice additions to the cast. If you remember Percy Jackson, Fantastic Beasts, and the Chronicles of Narnia, you know how fast a franchise can die. But Frozen Empire should give Ghostbusters a new lease on life. For NewsdayTV, I'm Rafer Guzman.
To read more from Rafer, go to Newsday.com, click Get More, below the NewsdayTV video box.
Feed Me is brought to you by PC Richard & Son.
Help for hangry commuters. Scott Vogel has a look at the new food options at the new Penn Station.
For a long time, if you found yourself starving at Penn Station at any hour of the day or night, your only option was this. Until now. When Rose Pizza closed in 2019 during Penn Station's overhaul, an entire island of commuters fell into mourning. The legendary spot having fed generations of starving LIRR types with a 4 a.m. passion for calzones, garlic knots, and Lulu's spicy pepperoni. The good news is that Rose reopened in January just steps from the tracks. And the even better news, at least for some of us, is that there's a wealth of competition now. There's new food in the LIRR's trackside concourse and more on the way. And upstairs in the new $1.6 billion train hall, banana pudding, bagels, blue bottle coffee, and more. And on the same level, a classy train station bar surrounded by a well-curated food court, DJs some nights, and lots more reasons to linger. So the amount of options is dizzying, right? Let's see if I can make it easier for you. Oh. When you read, you begin with ABC. When you eat at Penn, it's dough. Dos Toros, a taqueria steps from the tracks. Raising Cane's. Not open yet, but it will be this spring. Me running for my train with nothing but an insomnia cookie for dinner. A long, long way to track 17 when you're carrying a honey chicken biscuit from Jacob's Pickles in the Moynihan Food Hall. So rich and thick like this Yokohama-style broth at EAK Ramen. La de macaroons, the best in the world. The matcha tea at Cha-Cha Matcha in the main concourse. Will bring us back to Rose, 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 Rose. I take requests. Okay.
Now, for more on the new food at Penn, go to Newsday.com, click Get More, below the Newsday TV video box. Now let's take a look at your super wet and soggy Long Island weather. Take a look at this. Tonight we're dealing with wind and showers late, and tomorrow pretty much all rain. Take a closer look at tomorrow. These are our rain graphics, and they're everywhere because it's going to rain a lot. And here's the 7-day for you. Sunday looks decent, so we only deal with it tomorrow, but next week, it's not looking too bright either.
Long Island weather is brought to you by Home Tax Saver, PTRC Incorporated.
You're watching Newsday TV. I'm Ken Buffa. Thank you so much for joining us. Have a good weekend.